So I'm following up on the video I made on my main channel, and I'm going to talk about some of the underlying issues in social media as to why I think there needs to be a dramatic change. Because things have, in the past few weeks, things have gotten really, really bad. We've seen just tremendous escalation. And it's to the point now where I think, I have some responsibility to try and change this too. And I try to, right? I try to make sure my content is always rational and reasonable and pulls things back. But it doesn't matter. Because the fringe weirdos are fueled by whatever it is you say. No matter what you say, it will be used as a weapon. It will be turned into a part of the culture war. The mob will rally around it. They'll lie, cheat, and smear. Recently, some high-profile individuals took a post I made out of context where I was criticizing Vox for implying that Jewish people inherit materialism. They took this one clip from the article where I quoted it and attributed it to me. I am not Dr. Eric Turkheimer. I did not say that. It was a Vox article. And then some celebrities with millions of followers pile on. They apologize. I don't know what their deal is or whatever happened, but the point is, this is what's wrong with social media. This is why the whole system is just insane. It's making everyone go crazy, and I just think something needs to be done differently. So one of the things, if you didn't see my main channel video, this is a good point for me to point out what I call the social media nightmare, and this long thread article that I wrote, whatever you want to call it. And I want to talk about my plans moving forward for those that didn't follow the main channel. Main channel is probably going to be more, vloggy, hokey, on-the-ground stuff. Maybe not always going to be political. I don't know what it's going to be, but I know that it can't be the same thing. I'm planning on turning this channel into a full-on podcast. So the first video will probably be the big story of the day, followed by a story around it, followed by something I care about, maybe culture war issues. It'll probably end with an interview. So it'll be a full hour and 15 minutes of content every day. And that will carry on me doing kind of my opinion content. So I'm going to separate my main channel now from a second channel, because sometimes they kind of do the same thing. Subverse, the third channel, is going to be straight news, and we're looking to hire people and expand in that direction. So no, it's not like a burnout thing. I'm still going to be working more, and it's actually going to be a lot harder for me to figure out and develop a new plan forward. The issue is this. So this is something I wrote, and it's kind of, dejected. It's a bit all over the place. It's almost a word salad. It's a series of 30 tweets I put out, just going through all these ideas that were in my head, having to do with everything wrong with social media and how it's getting so awful. We got to stop chasing after the social media game, stop caring about views, figure out other ways to make money. And this is not just about me. It's about the big digital media companies. They won't do it though, right? But I don't want to participate in that capacity anymore. So we're going to do something different. Things are going to change. I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know what it's going to look like, but right now I'm going to a meeting shortly after this video. I've got one more video coming after this, but we're going to have a discussion about how to move forward in a structured way to produce a new, some content that steps away from the absolute insanity. Here's the thing. When I produce content, I'm trying to get away from the insanity. I'm trying to call out the escalation and the insanity, but it's not working properly. So something else needs to happen. We need to stop being so distracted by the game, by the culture war, and we need to figure out how we can break people out of that addiction of these tech companies. It is insane to me. The addictive properties of social media, the likes, the retweets, they're points. It's a point system, and people want more points, and it's a problem. So let me read through this a little bit. I said, Twitter is radicalizing people faster than any other network. The short but easily shared format allows fake news to travel faster than ever before. Out-of-context clips, quotes, and headlines result in the rapid deployment of information fragments, which misleads people and radicalizes. Because here's the thing. I'm going to do a breakaway right now. This is not in the article. Someone might see an out-of-context quote from me. They work for BuzzFeed. They then say, Tim Pool was accused of this. Well, they can get away with it. It's not liable because I was accused of it. But I never said those things. That then ends up in Wikipedia. That's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about the smears. It's about how this is a really good example. When you look at what happens to like Mike Cernovich and other people where they take these fake videos, people think it's real, and it ends up becoming fact. That's nightmarish. And there's another reason why I'm sort of preempting everything and just like saying, you know what, we'll do it now. For one, the weather's really nice. I got my van coming up, and we want to do some on-the-ground travel stories and kind of get away from the insanity. But more importantly, in the near future, we're looking at programs that can generate fake voices and deep fake video that makes it look like even Barack Obama said something they didn't, and no one will be able to tell the difference. So what do we do then? When the fake news goes wild, who believes what? Well, right now, if you have money, you're considered credible, and that's it. Independent creators, even if they're big channels, sorry, you're not credible. You're an extremist. You're dangerous. Let's read more. I say that activists also use screenshots of clips, quotes, and headlines to actually make it harder to do research. People then fall for the misleading narrative, and the record is often never corrected. They'll take a screenshot of my video, lie about what the video's about, and then everyone will share it. That's what they do. Facebook is fast, but at least on Facebook you have more space to post your ideas, so you can condense. You don't have to condense all of your ideas. We'll read on. But business models and political agendas are forming around misinformed extremism due to Facebook and Twitter. Digital media built empires off radicalizing people with police brutality and social justice content. This resulted in an inverse reaction. People who oppose the radicalization, people probably like me, the intellectual dark web, and many anti-SJW figures, though the anti-SJW figures sometimes, I think, maybe just in it for capitalization. But not most, I don't know, but I see it. Venture capital provided a shield of credibility. It was mainstream, so it was okay. And people said, hey, if it's funded by NBC, it must be credible, right? Even though they have no fact checkers and it's opinion. Think about Joey Salads. What was he caught doing? Race baiting viral videos. But this is exactly the content that radicalized digital media needs. Proof of racism. Except, they do literally the same thing. Think about it. Joey made a video. If you're not familiar, Joey Salads hired black people to smash up a car with Trump stickers on it. Because he knew what would go viral and get shares. Here's the thing. These digital media companies do literally the exact same thing. Literally the same thing. Race baiting videos they know will go viral. They selectively edit them sometimes. And no one calls them out. Why? Where's the New York Times? Where's the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal saying stop? Oh, they're playing the same game. I was told when I worked at Fusion, don't call them out because we do the same thing. Well, not me. I don't have anything to do with that. So I eventually left. Moving on. They hide behind the mainstream to push lies, smears, and extreme content for money. Companies hire low-tier college grads at dirt wages to write opinion trash and call it fact. They use formulas to generate content meant to go viral. They are obsessed with Gamergate even though it hasn't been a thing in years. It's because the boogeyman means clicks. Rage gets clicks. They need a villain. They love Trump, and we all know it. Trump has been a godsend for these media companies. We have even seen executives quoted as saying, let's get back to Trump. It's called the Trump bump. Get people mad, get paid. But how do you keep milking the same cow over and over? You need to radicalize. The content needs to avoid becoming stale. Is Trump a racist? That gets you 1 million views, but you can't write the same story twice. Tomorrow you write Trump is racist. Then Trump is the most racist. Then Trump is like Hitler. Then Trump is like Hitler. Then Trump is worse than Hitler. That's the escalation and the radicalization process. We've seen it for years. The outline tracked a story from Mike.com. I've talked about it several times. Reading that story really throws it in your face. We know what they're doing. The employees know what they're doing. And right now, I guarantee you, at these big digital tech companies, these employees know they are doing it. And they don't care. It needs to stop. I don't know how you stop it. I really don't. But I'm going to divert in some capacity. This channel will always be, my hour-long, series of content over several, videos. My main channel is going to be changing. Subverse already is not that political on purpose because this needs to change. I do want to say, of course, that is oversimplifying things a bit. The formula does need to be less apparent to people. But this is how it works. And it's not like YouTubers are immune from the same process. But YouTubers can't click share and have their video appear in the feeds of other people. I did go over a lot of these ideas on my main channel, but I'm reading through my thread. Basically, on YouTube, you can't just share a video with all of your subscribers like you can on Twitter and Facebook. You don't know if the YouTube algorithm is going to promote you. So you don't really know if the content will work. You have a general idea. You hope it will work. But sometimes people it stops working. And you don't know why. And you can't do anything about it. You could subscribe to somebody and never see their videos. Yet they will tell you over and over again at BuzzFeed that YouTube radicalizes people. It's a lie. The data shows it's a lie. Facebook radicalizes people, and they radicalize digital ventures for short-term gains, and that we actually know for sure when we track that information. Of course, YouTube does have an escalation issue as well, but it is nothing compared to Facebook and Twitter. Twitter is the most rapid escalation platform. It's the most rapid escalation. You'll see it on Twitter because it's nonstop. People tweet hundreds of times per day nonsense. They want to join the mob. They want to play the game. They want to virtue signal, etc. And it's only getting worse until finally everything's going to snap. I mentioned that YouTube is dominated by anti-SJW types because they're pushing back on what they see from these digital outlets, the lies and the smears. Progressives are passive. They get radicalized by VC-backed media trying to generate clicks. YouTube are trying to resist it, but over time build a strong following. However, there are grifters on YouTube. They're trying to capitalize on the game. Of course, they exist everywhere, and they're successful doing this, but they don't have the same capacity that you see on Facebook. Facebook has all of the bad actors. There was even, I think, I bring this up at some point. I don't want to read through the whole thing. I think I should kind of like wrap things up a bit. But there was a channel that exclusively made police brutality videos, and they were in the top global rankings for content. So you've got bad actors on the left and on Facebook and in the mainstream, and you've got some bad actors on YouTube because the platform doesn't support it the way you'd expect, Facebook or YouTube, or Facebook or Twitter to. But they'll tell you it was. So I go on. I'm going to skip over some of this. I talk about how the addiction of social media makes people take things personally. You post a video, you don't get enough views, and you say, "What did I do wrong?" Oh, it must be YouTube. Well, we don't know. Maybe it's YouTube, maybe it's not. We really don't know. But this is causing people to get depressed. They're chasing after a point system. Twitter knows this. Twitter has publicly discussed removing counters for likes, retweets, and followers, but they didn't. Because that's the video game. Twitter is a game, and it's destroying the fabric of society, along with Facebook, and to an extent, kind of YouTube. There is great benefit to these social media platforms. I get to speak to you. I was able to build a channel, but I can see how nightmarish things are becoming when venture capital gets involved and radicalizes people through social media by manipulating them with gamification. It's a nightmare. It's such a nightmare that I'm going to end with one final thought. Cal Poly faculty votes to remove Chick-fil-A from campus. Why? It's a chicken shop. I don't care what their employees are doing, the staff members high ranking, when they donate to organizations. But people have been radicalized so much that a story from, 7 years ago is relevant, and they actually vote to remove a chicken shop. That's insane. If you are gathering in a protest to protest chicken sandwiches, I ask that you humbly take a look at your life and realize how radicalized you've become. And this is part of the problem. I've got I've got 2 more videos coming up. The next one is an interview over censorship, and then one more video coming up after that. I'll see you shortly.